Welcome back, folks. You're listening and viewing the Business Networking channel with the Hispano Chamber of Commerce. I'm your host, Gabe Vasquez, Executive Director. Joining me today is Santiago R. Soto III. He's Vice President of our organization. We have on our show today, folks, Mellow Honek, Managing Member of Sunspot Solar Energy Systems. Right before we went on break, we were talking a little bit about making your photovoltaic solar system pay off. So how has the business paid off for you? Your business has grown tremendously since first starting a couple of years ago. Obviously, you're doing it in the right place. And what's the method to the growth behind your business?
Well, I think the right I think, you know, like anything else, it's
Sure.
location,
That's right.
and for us, location means where the sun is,
Sure.
right?
Mhm.
And not only where the sun is, but Las Cruces has the added advantage over places like Phoenix and Las Vegas, Nevada, and so forth. We are at elevation, right? We're at 4,000, 4,500 feet. So it's cooler here and sunny. Well, solar panels do better when they're cool.
Okay.
So a solar panel on a rooftop here in Las Cruces will generate more electricity during the summertime than it will with a similar panel on a roof in Phoenix.
Oh, that's
So
interesting.
this is a like if I was a solar panel, this is where
this is where you'd want to
Absolutely.
be. Great.
Absolutely.
Well, New Mexico has some great natural resources to be taken advantage of in terms of alternative energy. I can certainly tell you that here in Las Cruces, I've seen more homes popping up with solar panels, and
Yes, everywhere,
I even think I
everywhere.
saw a little wind farm out in Rassoff Hills or something like that. So definitely the technology is getting better, but certainly at this point, I mean, people are taking advantage of it because the technology is already there. It's being made in New Mexico, and it's allowed small business growth in our community. So that's great. What are some of the projects about
Businesses too.
Yeah, and businesses
are
as well.
taking advantage of it.
What are some of the projects that you've worked on here locally?
Well, we've got our guys are on the roof every day. So
Okay.
every weekday we're on somebody's roof installing more solar panels. That's all we do. In the last less than 2 years, we have about 200 systems that we've put throughout the Las Cruces, Dona Ana area. One of our marquee projects we just completed in May, which was for the F&A dairy. We put a 100 kilowatt system together. That's about 430 panels, solar panels. Takes a good chunk of an acre.
That's pretty
to
impressive.
put that together.
Very.
So it's got to be quite a sight as well, because
It is.
I'll bet it is.
It is.
Especially when the sun's hitting them all, right?
Oh, yeah.
You just see this mirror effect out there.
So do they
It's
call that
pretty exciting.
what do they call? Do they call that a solar farm or a
Solar array. It's
a
just
solar
a
array.
ground-mount solar
Okay.
array. Mhm.
Okay.
And what this will do is this will offset the dairy's electricity consumption, and with the REC program and these other the federal and state tax credits
Sure.
and all that, it looks like it'll probably cut their electric bill maybe 30-40% on that one building. Now they have
Several buildings.
more meters and
Yeah.
more buildings,
Sure,
but for that
sure.
one building, one operation,
Yeah.
it should do a good job there.
I'm sure that once he sees that difference in that, he'll probably start looking at the other buildings as well.
Oh yeah, we're
Because,
talking about those.
like in any business, one of the biggest costs you have, other than labor, as you know,
Yes.
is utilities. I mean, that's something, and you can't get away from it.
can't.
You can't. There's nowhere to go. There's nowhere you pay it or you don't have it. It's real simple.
It's hard to make anything without electricity.
Very hard. Very difficult. Very difficult.
Unless you live in Pennsylvania,
Yeah.
in one of those.
Sure.
But
Now
anyhow,
we have some proposals out right now for some very large systems, megawatts of systems.
oh, excellent.
That we're just sort of waiting on, to see how those pan out.
Excellent,
But,
excellent. So it looks like you're growing at a very steady pace then in terms of
are.
your capacity for different types of contracting opportunities and such. So, so congratulations
Thank you.
on that.
I had a question real quick, Mello. If you said megawatts. Now, if you say megawatts, do you put mega panels up, or do you just use the same size panel basically, but more of them?
Same size, more of them.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Good,
It's
okay. So that's pretty much a standard size.
it is.
Panel. Okay.
It is. And when you'll see these farms all over these solar arrays and these big facilities all over the United States popping up, 10 megawatts, 15 megawatts. I mean, big. It's called a utility scale array because utilities buy the power.
Was there some sort of technology, something that had to be overcome in order for these to be as effective as they are today? What's involved in making these solar panels? Essentially, what's the material that goes on top, and how does the sun reflect the energy and allow it to collect without, using a water source, because I think there's some other systems out there that heat water to turn a turbine and other types of ways to generate electricity.
There are. Unfortunately, any system that uses water to make electricity uses a lot of water.
Sure.
Okay. In fact, there was a report recently that said that
A lot of
250 gallons of water is used every day to generate the electricity that one American uses. One. 250 gallons.
So that's wow. So that's a savings of water too, which is a very precious resource, as we all know.
Extraordinary savings of water.
Yes.
I mean, these sit up
I
on your
wasn't
roof, they
aware of that.
require no water. But to answer your questions, so first, how they're made. Of course, like I said, they're made up in Albuquerque, right here in New Mexico. And they take silicon, same kind of silicon that's in a computer chip, except that they're not making little cities out of it. They're just using pretty much the raw material that has some other elements added to it. But for the most part, it's silicon. And then there's really two types of silicon. One is doped for one polarity and one is doped for the other. And they're put together in a sandwich. That sandwich is further sandwiched by a piece of glass and what's called a back plate, which is sort of an epoxy material. The whole thing is put together into a sort of, like I say, a sandwich, and then that's fitted into a frame. So when you're all done, you have this big frame with glass on top, the silicon in between, and then the back plate, and some couple of leads coming out the back of the device. All right, a positive lead and a negative lead. So it's like a big battery that runs on sunlight. So what happens is the sun, of course, emits these photons. You know, we've all seen, Star Trek and the photons and all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
So these photons travel 93 million miles from the sun. They strike the atoms that are inside of the silicon. They break them free, and in very simple terms, those electrons race around to come back to the other side. So what we do is we intercept them and make them do a little work on the way, right? We don't just let them go back around. We, give them a job to do, and then we let them go back. And that's how you make electricity. Now, that electricity can't turn your lights on, can't run your oven, can't do anything, because it's the same kind of electricity you get out of a battery. Okay? So
You convert it.
we have to change that to AC, which now can power your house.
Excellent.
Okay? We do it a little differently at Sunspot. We use the latest technology, which takes and puts what's called an inverter, and that's what changes the DC into the AC, and we put one of those micro inverters, one with each solar panel. And the reason we do that is because that makes each solar panel a completely independent generator. And it means that if solar panels get shaded, they just act independently, and all the solar panels that aren't shaded are working at 100%, and those that are shaded are impacted, but only the ones that are shaded. The old way of connecting them together, if you shaded just one solar panel,
threw them all off.
Threw them all off. Exactly. You've got it. So very different, newer technology, newer architecture makes these systems generate even more electricity.
Now, Mello, we've heard some great things about solar today. Certainly a huge benefit to businesses and homes that want to take advantage of the biggest natural resource that we have available to us. How do they take advantage of it locally? Where can people come and see you? How can they, somebody wants to learn a little bit more about what you guys do and maybe even get a quote for an installation at their home. Where do they call or where do they go?
We make it really easy. They can call us at local area code 575-541-3533.
Okay.
They can visit our website, sunspotsolar.com. And really, we just take a look at their electric bills. So anybody that wants to just take a few minutes and add up their electric bill for the year, if they can call us and tell us what that amount is, really over the phone, we can give them a pretty accurate idea of what a system would cost up front.
Excellent.
And of course, they're still going to get that 7-year payback. So whatever the price of the system is, they get it all back in 7 years. We take care of all the forms for the incentives, for the tax credits. We do all that. So it's not like we show them how to do it. We fill them all in for them, so that they don't really have to do anything at all. They don't have to know anything about the incentives, and we make sure that they're enrolled in every single one so they get the maximum benefit.
So, another thing that you're forgetting here, well, not forgetting, I'm sure, but another interesting thing that just came to mind was that when there is a blackout, if you have panels, you're not blocked out. Is that true or not?
Well, it can be. Now, for most people, they get what are called a grid-tied system. In that case, if the power is out, your power is out too. That's That's the system you get if you're looking for an investment, all right, and you want to make some money. If you simply want some convenience and you don't want to be subject to a blackout, then you can get a system that includes batteries, and then that will keep you going
Keep the system going
through a blackout.
Okay,
So,
all right.
so talking about that, I mean, what is the future of solar? Where can we expect to see this type of technology and this way to generate electricity in the future?
Well, I think what we're going to see in solar is very slowly the prices continue to come down.
Okay.
And so as we keep going forward, as these incentives start to go away, you know, hopefully the prices will have hit points along the way where it's still going to be, you know, under 10 years on a payback. That's what we try to shoot for. The technology we're using, where we put one microinverter with one solar panel, is one step on the way to where that microinverter will actually be incorporated into the solar panel. And so now the solar panels are called AC panels.
Well, that's great news. Mellow, I want to thank you so much for being on the Business Networking channel today, for being members of the Hispano Chamber of Commerce. As you all know out there, we're here to promote local business and help Las Cruces grow. And through great folks like Mellow Honek, who are taking advantage of our natural resources and helping families benefit and business benefit, I think there's a great future in solar. And if you want some more information, of course, go to Mellow's website,
sunspotsolar.com.
sunspotsolar.com. And also be sure to check out thehispanochamber.com to read about the latest news and updates and upcoming events. So for the Business Networking channel, this is Gabe Vasquez signing off. See you guys.
Adios.
See you guys next week.